Welcome back, everyone. My name is Paula Steenrod with Advantage Health Corporation. Today's core more is going to be a little bit different, and instead of like buns of steel, we're just going to try to figure out how to activate our buns. A lot of times these days we are doing a lot of sitting things, and so we're shortening our hip flexors and lengthening our glutes and hamstrings, and we get back up, and then all of a sudden our glutes have turned off, and we don't know why. So there are 3 steps that we're going to follow today that you can feel free to use on a daily or every other day, weekly basis to help activate those glutes and get them turned back on. The first part of this is going to be stretching. We're going to stretch out those hip flexors and the groin muscles and the quads. Second part is going to be dynamic stretching. So stretching so that there's movement, the muscle has to respond to, and activation in the glutes. The third part is learning or relearning or teaching our glutes how to activate. So we have a lot to cover today, so let's get started. Our first step is stretching. So we just want to stretch out our quads, hip flexors, and groin. We're going to do that in a half kneel position. If you don't have carpeting, like myself, I have a hard floor, I'm going to roll my mat up so that I have a little extra squish for that knee. Just make sure it's still happy. If you have pretty decent flexibility in the hip flexor and quad, you might need to prop those toes up. But otherwise, no worries. All you're going to do is pretend there are some eye hooks on those hips of yours, and as you exhale, try to squeeze your butt. So if you poke your butt, it should be a little harder, and pull the hips forwards. So you're trying to keep tail engaged down, long spine, and feel a good stretch in the front of the hip. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. So you're staying here. We already are 10 seconds in, so if I talk long enough, it won't seem so long. And just watch, like my glute just like let go. So you have to really engage that glute and tuck that hip flexor down to try to stretch out that hip flexor and feel it right in the front there. Nice big inhale. Let's do one more big exhale. Try to pull a little bit farther, and release. Good. I'm going to turn to the front for this next one. Again, toes can remain propped or flat. Flat gives you a little more stability, I feel. You're going to bring your leg out to the side. Again, good pelvic tilt. Nice big inhale. Pull off to this side. So hopefully with that tilted pelvis, you're really getting a good stretch in that groin. Again, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. You're already 10 seconds in. Not too bad. Good. Ooh, that feels really good on those inner thighs. And honestly, if this is all you do, maybe 3 times a day, you get up off of your desk, you try to tilt your pelvis and stretch out your hip flexors, your glutes, your hamstrings, your lower back. Well, thank you. All right, are we ready to move on to the next leg? Nice big inhale, release that leg. Well, let's bring it back into that half kneel. This time the other knee comes to the front. You can prop the toes or keep them bent. Tuck that tail right underneath you. Try to squeeze that glute. Nice big inhale, pull forwards. And you're noticing I need to walk my toes a little bit because I do have pretty good flexibility in my hip flexors. So nice and long. Again, 30 seconds. What's nice about stretching out hip flexors and trying to activate or learning to activate those glutes is that oftentimes we can prevent lots of pain, especially lower back pain, and injury. Anything from lower back, hips, knees, ankles, or feet. If our glutes are turned on and doing their jobs, we can avoid a lot of injuries typically. All right, let's bring it to the side. Again, toes can remain propped or flat. Nice big inhale. You're pulling to the side. Whoo! This groin's a little tighter than the other one, and you might experience that yourself. Totally normal. Hold that. Remember, these are static stretches. So step 1, stretching. Step 2 is going to be dynamic stretching. So there's going to be more movement as we stretch out the fronts of our leg. All right, give me another 10 seconds here. Tall through the spine, tall, tall, tall. Nice big inhale. Oh, pull just a little bit more and release. Excellent, good job. All right, dynamic stretching. Low lunge. So whatever knee was up, make sure that knee is back down. So I had my left knee up, so I'm going to put that one down. Right knee is going to be up. Dynamic hip flexor stretch. You're just going to stay here. Some of us might need a block long through the spine. Engage through, so try to squeeze that left hip. Nice big inhale, or the left glute. Tap the knee, exhale, extend. Inhale, tap the knee, oh yeah, exhale, extend. This is one of my favorite stretches for that hip flexor and quad. Extend, good, 2 more, nice big inhale, tap, and extend, good, last one, tap, and extend, very nice. Switch legs, I'm gonna remove the block, I don't actually need it, but if you do, feel free to keep it there so the ground doesn't seem so far away, right? All right, I'm squeezing my right glute, I'm getting that set, I'm pushing my heel all the way back, nice big inhale, tap the knee, exhale, extend, very good. Inhale, tap that knee, exhale, extend. All right, good, 3 more. Draw up through those lower abdominals. Remember, anytime we're in a low lunge, we're also planking. Good. This hip is not as tight, which is nice. And extend. Very good. We're going to get those groin muscles, so you're going to come to a lateral lunge. For some of us, that might just look like this, because that ground might seem really far away. For others, we're able to get really close to the ground and just get some movement going in those hips. Very nice. 2 more here, and then we get into your favorite part, the activation. Give me a good booty, right? Let's work it. All right, 1 more there to one side, and then all the way back. Very good. You're going to come on, I call these knee rockets. I don't know. If you can figure out a better name, let me know in the comments below. But you're going to come on to a sideline position. Try to extend this bottom leg and bring it at about a 45-degree angle. You're kind of laying like you're on the beach here. All I want you to do, we're going to activate our glute medius first. If you kind of like ever stand with your hands on your hips, it's that muscle that's like right at the top of the posterior back of your hip bone. So you're going to tap the knee, you're going to shoot it back, lift, and then rotate toes down to bring the knee back to the mat, shoot it back, lift, rotate toes down, bring the knee down. Good. Back, lift, rotate, down. Good. That's 3. We have 7 to go. Lift, rotate. So the glute medius's main job is to abduct or move the leg away, so away from our body, and internally rotate our foot. Push, lift, rotate, tap. All right, we're halfway. Are you feeling it in that top part of your glutes already? Or am I just sore from other workouts? That could be. Very nice. Let's do 3. Lift, toes rotate, tap, kick back, lift, toes rotate down, tap, last one, up, rotate, and complete. Good. Let's flip it over to the other side here. Flip it over to the other side. Very good. Remember, bottom leg is straight, maybe bent, but ideally straight and at about a 45-degree angle. And tap that knee, kick it back, lift, rotate toes down. So then that knee is ready to come back to that mat. Very good. So glute medius has a very important job. It keeps our hips in line or stabilizes our hips as we walk. So that's super important because if we do a lot of walking as human beings. So now you're noticing I'm incorporating both of these moves. I'm rotating and lifting. So if you want to try that, so rotate, lift with a rotate. Good, let's do 3 more. Nice. Lift and rotate. 2, last one, lift and rotate, and 1. Good. Our next hold or activation move, again, glute medius. So we're going to do this 20 seconds on, 10-second break. We're going to do it twice on the opposite leg that we just worked, and then twice on the other leg. So again, placing the bottom leg where you feel really stable. All I'm going to ask you to do is rotate your toes down and lift up and hold that position. So let's start in 3, 2, 1. Rotate and lift. Good. All you're doing is holding in that position. We're not moving. We're just holding. If you want a little extra fun, try to bring it behind you just a little bit. You've got it. There's 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest for 10. If you want, do a little stretch, right? All right, there's 3, 2, 1. Rotate and lift and hold. 20 seconds there, and then we get 10 seconds to move to the other side. You're doing great. I noticed my foot decided it didn't want to rotate anymore, so really focus on that rotation. If you're doing great, move it backwards behind you for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Flip it over to the other side. All right, there's 2 and 1. Rotate toes down, lift up. Remember, it's just a hold. If you want a little extra challenge, you can move it behind you. If you're lifting it up and you're holding and you're like, oh my goodness, just leave it there. But if you need that little extra challenge, move it behind you. There's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Stretch it out if you need it. Nice. We got one more, and then we're going to stand it up and work our glute meads there. There's 2 and 1. Rotate toes down and lift. Good. Move behind if you can. Keep it lifted. Keep it lifted. So I noticed I'm like, oh yeah, my leg is in the air. But if I try to lift a little bit higher, then it really gets me in that glute medius. There's 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Bring it up. Okay. Next, we have wall hip checks. I want one hand up against the wall, and this is more for stability. If you notice when you lift this knee that's closest to the wall that your hip checks out, then you probably have a weak glute medius. So we're going to strengthen that up, and that's really going to help strengthening your lower back. So this is just to help balance. Lift the knee closest to the wall. I want you to intentionally check that hip out and push it up. Good. Check it out and push it up. Good. Let's do 8 more. So that's 8, 7, 6, 5, and it's probably, I'm not even sure you can see this movement. It's pretty small, right? 3, 2, and 1. Good. Find the other wall or turn around, whatever works best for you. I'm just going to hang on to it this time so I make sure I'm well in the camera for you. Let that hip come out. Squeeze it in for 10. Good. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, so we've really worked this top glute medius quite a bit. So what about that big glute maximus, the one that makes your pants look good, right? Let's get on to that. Glute bridges. So, glute bridges, right? All we want to do here is roll up and hold. Now, oftentimes we cheat ourselves and we end up coming a little short. So make sure you come up and you look like a ski slope, like somebody could jump right off your knees. We're going to hold that. It's going to be 20-second hold, 10-second rest. All right? Bring it up for me. Roll up, 20-second hold. Draw knees in just a little bit. If they're coming way wide, I want them in just a little bit. And squeeze those glutes like you got a $100 bill between those cheeks. So squeeze that $100 bill for me. Yeah, you've got it. There's 4, 3, 2, rest. If you're really feeling this in the hamstrings or lower back, make sure you're really focusing on squeezing that $100 bill. 2, 1, roll up so that you have that ski slope. Squeeze the $100 bill in between those cheeks. hold those glutes really tight. You have 10 more seconds. You're almost done. You've got this. We got a nice dynamic glute bridge coming up with a reverse tabletop. So that'll hopefully really help you feel the activation. There's 2 and 1. Roll down. All right, fingertips come towards your butt. You're going to come up through the pelvis, and then you're hinging at the pelvis. Notice how straight my back stays. I'm not hinging at my back. I'm hinging at my hips. All right, 20 seconds on, 10-second rest, 2 rounds in 3, 2, 1. Hinge at those hips, push up, tap, push up, tap. Good. Push up. Beautiful. Are you feeling those glutes engage? Can you feel the $100 bill in those cheeks? Oftentimes I encourage people, squeeze so hard that you're trying to get that $100 bill to stay in there. 2, 1, as you lower. All right, we got a 10-second break, and we're going to hit that one more time. Woo! And then we only have one more exercise. Yay! 2. Here we go. Lift, squeeze, 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 lift. Squeeze, 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 lift. Yes, squeeze, 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 lift. Squeeze, 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 lift. Squeeze. 2 more. Last one. Ah, nice job. All right, last exercise. Again, 20 seconds on, 10-second break. Bridge sways. All we're going to do is a lift up into that bridge, and you're going to hip check to the left, and you're going to hip check to the right, kind of making a smiley face. So you really want to come up into that bridge and come up into that bridge. So we're seeing that top half. Same thing, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Hip check left. Hip check right. Now this is a great exercise because not only are we working that glute max, kind of one at a time, right? Because as I hip check, the other hip or other glute gets a break, but we're also working those glute meats to stabilize this move. There's 2 and 1. Nice job. You get 10 seconds rest. Let that pelvis rest a little bit. Maybe you need to bring those knees in if you were getting a little too much into your back. There's 2 and 1. Roll it back up. Hip check. Sway, sway. Yeah. Very nice. This is it. This is your last 20 seconds. 10 seconds, really. And then we'll stretch. Just do one little stretch, and you are on your way, hopefully, to a functional day. There's 2 and 1. Good. Bring it down. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Curl those knees up. Big inhale here. Easy exhale. Nice big inhale. Roll on up. All right. Good job. I hope some of these exercises are really great for you and help you activate your glutes and make your whole body and your whole day more functional. Till next time.